You're ready to take the plunge into PC gaming. You need to see what the actual benefits are before you do so. This is one of the many videos you're gonna need. And on this episode, we're talking about why FPS is important. Yo, what's up guys? Post Edit Ratchet here. I'm gonna interject from time to time. I haven't come up with a title for this series just yet, but I'm gonna make like a multitude of videos to get rookies prepped for PC gaming. This shit is gonna feel very Dora the Explorer-like on some, can you point to the HDMI? This is on purpose. PC gaming is easy. You just need proper guidance. This is a Titan Army P2510S gaming monitor. I honestly don't know how to say that. Is it P2510? P2510? This is gonna be my assistant today. If you like what you see, after this video, we got our own promo code. It's on screen and in the description. Save yourself 5% going through us. This monitor is already decently priced for its specs anyway. Now you're getting more savings. Let's do the reveal. 240 Hz refresh rate. Damn. 2K resolution, bro. Whoa. 24.5 inches. 1 millisecond response rate. These are the type of specs you want if you're getting into competitive gaming. Let's take a look at that booty. This monitor can be your little whore if you wanted it to. HDMI, DisplayPort. That's 4 different devices in one monitor. If none of your displays you have in your home can go up to this resolution, I don't know how you wouldn't. You'd only want to use this monitor from now on. Keep in mind, this monitor was made with esports in mind, so it seems like the actual screen and its performance was the main priority. Don't expect like a super expensive casing on this thing. The plastic around it feels like they cheaped out on it, but I guess that's fine. You gotta save money somewhere in order to get this type of performance at this price point. So as long as it performs well, that's really all that matters. But I figured I should mention that. Don't be surprised. All right, sponsor obligations out the way. Let's talk FPS. This part isn't even a joke. I've heard people actually argue that frames are not important. These are words of ignorance. These are words of a person perpetually stuck in poverty. Say you've never experienced over 60 frames without saying you never experienced over 60 frames. Illustrating the differences between 60 FPS and anything above it on a YouTube video is gonna be hard, because I can't really show you that exactly if you haven't experienced it. YouTube videos only display up to 60 FPS, but I can give you a really good idea. I'm about to yap my ass off, so prepare. Let me cook. When talking about FPS, you want to focus on these terms. Hertz, AZ, is how fast a monitor could create images. Frames per second, FPS, how fast a graphics card could render frames. Frames are just still pictures. Video is just a collection of those pictures with audio. So 60 FPS is just 60 pictures per second. FPS and Hertz are pretty much the same exact thing. I don't know why they separate them to begin with, to be honest. Let's just say you know your graphics card could push out 240 frames per second. Well, you want a monitor that can do 240 Hertz. So when you see Hertz, just think of frames. Technology is advancing day to day. Consoles are decades behind PCs. It's only a matter of time before consoles reach a point to where it's excessive. PCs are excessive. You do not need the craziest hardware to have the best experience. With technology evolving, the standard constantly shifts. Currently, we're at 1080p 60 FPS standard. That is now the absolute minimum requirement for any tech coming out. Cheap ass $100 cell phones can capture and display video at this level. The shift is happening again right before your very eyes. The standard for everyone is going to be up to 1440p 120 FPS. These are what the latest consoles are claiming they're capable of. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand, there's no point of you guys getting this hardware and not utilizing it to its fullest. Some of you guys are still playing your consoles up on televisions. I don't even think that's the route you should be going anymore. Even with consoles, you should be playing your games on a monitor. That's what's required to actually open these damn devices up. I share a video with you guys that first exposed me to this type of stuff, and now I can't unsee it.
Next time someone tells you refresh rates aren't important for gaming, show them this. You've probably seen people testing refresh rates like this, so we wanted to put it to the test ourselves. Here is our 60Hz control test. The response of each monitor is fairly identical. Here you can see the 60Hz screen lags behind the 120Hz and has a much more noticeable delay when moving. At 240Hz, you can clearly see how the refresh rate impacts the overall response of the monitor, with the 60Hz lagging behind exponentially. Do you think you'll be sticking with 60Hz, or will you be upgrading your monitor?
On top of that, if you have a computer that can push out more frames than what your monitor can keep up with, you'll be creating like this blurry, smudgy ghost after image effect with your games. You'll have to look closely in this video, but this is more apparent in person. Notice how when I'm moving my gun with 60 hertz, like there's like this weird trail after effect. And when you look over to the other one, when I have like unlimited frames, how smooth the game seems to be. This is one of those situations you think you wouldn't need it until you have it. It's the most obvious here when I freeze it. So you can see it, there's like a little trail. It's like a trail smudge thing going on. Whenever you're playing your games, guys, don't overlook your monitor. That is important. Peripherals are 1000% important. This is what's going to enable you to have a better experience with your game. Upgrade your peripherals, bro.